Good afternoon, everyone, and hi, Nkechi. How are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Same.
So, as usual, we are going to have our session. But before we start, I believe everything is okay, and we are all in shape to start this fireside chat. Please, Nkechi, I want you to be very relaxed. I'm also very relaxed, as you can see. It's not informal. It's just to get to know you as well as to interact with you, to get to know about your experience and obviously to motivate other people as well. So please, I'm going to be very casual. I'm going to be very relaxed. So please don't make it look like a formal interview or anything like that. Okay,
Sure.
that's just the that's just what I'm trying to send across. So basically, let's start. Basically, I usually start with introduction. Tell us about yourself, what you do, and just give us an overview of who you are for people to be aware of you.
Okay. I don't know. I think my name has already been shared. Nkechi Dike. Professionally, I go by Nikki, just because it's easier. Um, I've been in the tech scene, software engineering, development, for over a decade, right? Initially, I started as a system analyst, and then I went to the QA field, and just with various industries. I initially started at a company, not, I wouldn't call it a company. It's called Freddie Mac. For those in the US, you know it as the bank for banks, right? In the mortgage industry. I started there. And to be honest, and I'm going to put this information in just so that, people that are just coming into the tech scene would see that, sometimes at the beginning, it might be rough, but it does get better, right? Before I got that first role, and I know this is outside Salesforce, but I want you to have this information. I did work for a consulting company, and I worked as an intern for 18 months without pay. So that is, because some people say, oh, how do we get in? How do we get in? And sometimes people see I know some people have like a good experience and immediately they start, they get a good job and they just get in. But for some people, it's a different path. And that's fine. Whatever path you take, that's fine, right? But I just want you to know that at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're here right now and you're trying to get in, if you get that position, maybe not free, but maybe the pay is not optimal, and personally that you don't have any experience at all, you just want to get your feet in, maybe you can take it, but give yourself a target. Let it be, 12 months, 6 months, and I'm out of here, right? Don't get into the trap of, getting in and getting stuck. We don't want that either, right? Get there, get the experience you want, see how it feels, and move on. Because again, I know there's the experience trap where, okay, I have this knowledge now, I have no experience, nobody wants to listen to me. That this is a way you can go over the hurdle. But again, Blackforce does have internships. And I would say make use of that, submit your assignments on time, write your certification on time, and just devote the time, and you can get that as well. So I'm just going to get out of the way.
Good stuff. Yeah. Thanks for chipping that in. We're gonna get there. But let's get to know you further. Now, how did you get into Salesforce? What's the story? How did you get involved? Tell us about your Salesforce introduction.
Okay. So for Salesforce, I did hear about, Blackforce, and actually I came in, okay, I referred a friend that's supposed to, she hadn't been in IT, a couple of friends, and they were trying to get in. And I'm like, I'm hearing about this, you should join. And we had a conversation, I might get lost. I was like, okay, I'll join and I'll help you out. I had no interest in joining initially, but the first 2 classes, I'm like, okay, maybe I should rethink this. And that is how I got in, because I got in, I started hearing from you. I remember Emilia speaking, and it was like, oh my God, I need to rethink my career path, where I am currently. And it looks like there is, that this is a different thing entirely. And I remember you giving us like some numbers, just calling it out. And I'm like, okay, I've been in the tech scene for a decade at this point. For me to think about these numbers, I'm looking at another decade. Okay, if Salesforce is saying I can do this in the next, my goal then was like 4 or 5 years, right? Maybe I should reconsider this. And this was how I started. It was from Blackforce. Before Blackforce, I hadn't done anything on Salesforce, to be honest with you. So for you guys that are here, coming here, it can really change the path for you, right? I didn't do any Salesforce program somewhere else and come here. No, it was all Blackforce. It was all Blackforce projects, the training sessions and all that. That was how I got into Salesforce. And one thing I would say, the first gig I got, okay, I'm gonna go into. I did my project and I got an internship with, Blackforce. So again, please take it seriously. There's nothing you're going to do when you get into the tech scene or the Salesforce scene that you won't have come across in some way in the Blackforce program, right? The projects are not just, let me play around and do assignment. These are things that real life problems you will go to a company and try to solve. And, working with Blackforce, Babatope gave me the chance, and I did work on a couple of projects with him. And that was my introduction of baptism into Salesforce. And during that process, there was another company I used to do side gigs with. And, she was asking for me to come and do something else. And I was like, right now I'm thinking about Salesforce. So she's like, oh, yeah, this company, they're building an AI application to integrate with Salesforce. I think you will be, amazing. If you're saying that you've done Salesforce, you've gotten a certification, why don't you join and be like the product person as it relates to all things Salesforce? So
that's good. That's good. Well done.
Yeah,
well done. You guys were one of the first few students that actually got experience and you got paid as well. Right now, it's very hard to get paid, right? Because there's so many people.
And I got paid. Actually, yes. Let me say that I did get paid for projects. And, to be honest with you, I did learn a lot. I think the first project I did was Salesforce and Tableau. And I was supposed to do, and it wasn't something, so hard. It was what we had done. So I was just going to do the data validation. And I did it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm learning something. And then, you brought that project with data import and, and I did it with, what's her name? Yeah.
Debbie.
Yeah, exactly. Debbie. Yeah. and that's it, and it builds your confidence. It gave me the confidence to say, okay, you know what, I can do this. And, and to be honest, I'm not going to say you're not going to see problems where you have to think. But again, here in Blackforce, your thoughts to, take the information, go and practice, go see what's out there, use Google, use Trailhead, and, reach out. There are mentors here. There are people that are willing and always ready to, jump in and help if you do need the help. So use the community, right? So
Nkechi, how has the experience been so far from, you do not do the consulting part, right? Initially, we did not have that consulting part, but you still went ahead to do consulting. But from experience so far, what's the ecosystem saying based on your experience? Because I can see you registering for consulting now, like Service Cloud. Why did you come for Service Cloud? Like, obviously, you're already doing well. What makes you think that you need extra knowledge, extra skills? Why Service Cloud? Why Sales Cloud? Why are you back?
So I'm back because I'm seeing that, a lot of companies, and this cuts across different industries. Not only are they not coming on board to Salesforce, they are trying to, and I think Mr. Dike said it the last time, their whole ecosystem, they want to pull in other assistive technology with Salesforce. So I'm seeing that, okay, just knowing this is not enough. I need to go there and start trying to specialize. My company currently, they have the Service Cloud, they have the Financial Force, and right now they're thinking of a project CPQ. I'm like, okay, I need to go back and add on more knowledge, right? So it's you're building on, right? It's just
let me ask you something personal. What is driving this? Is it the paycheck or the knowledge? Let's be honest.
I like to think that I'm a learner, but obviously, to be honest with you, I've been in tech and I know, and I've always, tech pays reasonable, but this is a different level. I'm just going to say it's a different level. I haven't seen in my years of working in tech, I haven't seen the progression. And I'm going to say this, it's not safe. I have.
Don't be shy.
I already had a 6-figure salary, but then doubling that. So you can imagine. So to be honest, you're going to work the same 8 hours, or I'm the kind of person I work 16 hours because I like to do side gigs, So if it's the same, why can't I get more value? And again, another thing you would see is the Canadian market. I love Canada. I love the people here, but I'm the kind of person that if I'm doing the same job, and if this currency is higher than that, I'm going to go where it is. That's just where it is.
Let's get into that then, since that seems like an interesting topic to talk about. So tell us, why were you interested in the US market? Was it because you previously lived there? Do you feel like your experience living in the US influenced your go-to market strategy for looking for jobs?
To be honest, when I came, one thing I struggled with when I moved to Canada was that immediately I came here, I got a 50% pay cut. So the shock, it was something I just couldn't live with. To be honest with you, I was not happy, and either you stay and sulk or you rectify the situation. That's just it. I just couldn't accept that. It's like, okay, I've worked all this way to this level in my career for no reason. It's the same career, it's the same. And then just because I moved borders, it's just something I couldn't deal with. So I was like, okay, how do I rectify? I can stay here, complain, sulk, or I could find out a way out of this. And we're in tech. And the tech scene is, the way it is, you need a laptop, you need functioning internet, and you can, to a large extent, do all the work you need. Just make sure that you communicate well, you're available, and you get the job done. So, and the way it's going, even before COVID, I've been doing remote work, right? So the point is, first, go look for where these jobs are, and then prove to them that you can do it and you're reliable, right? So that way, and again, the US market, you cannot beat the availability of jobs there. You just can't. It's a bigger market.
Okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down further. Let's say someone has just finished their training this cohort. How should they go about looking for jobs in the US? Is there like a special website? Is there like a special people or agencies they need to know in order to actually get into this? Because some of them would say, oh, because you don't have a US work permit, visa, you cannot get a job. So how did you navigate that? Because I know, obviously, I asked you a personal question, you answered me, and it wasn't like you have the passport for the United States, right? So tell us the process, step-by-step process.
Okay, first thing, maybe how to look for jobs there, right? I personally, I know people say good things about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great, but I haven't gotten a job with LinkedIn before. So I'm going to just get that out of the way. I use sites like, and I'm going to post them. And I'm also posting sample job links so that you guys can also see what the job, I can share if you want, but let me post it. Is it okay to post it? Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm just posting sample jobs links. You can go in and see what they look like, what they ask for. Oh, it's not letting me paste. Maybe it's a lot. Okay, I'm just going to type and I can share
you. Put the link as well, so they can just click on the link.
Okay. Okay. I just posted, what I posted is, okay, first thing you will see the ladders. It's a job site. It's usually paid, but you could subvert that, but just by clicking it, going to remote jobs. There's a sample, the first job link, I just posted it there just so that you could open it and see. One thing I look for is remote, and then I go into the job description and make sure they do not specify a location, right? They don't specify, because usually US jobs, they'll say, oh, must have a green card. No. If it doesn't say any of that, like must have a green card or whatever, then I apply. Two things can happen. Oh, they didn't really need remote, but they're open to say, oh, okay, you do have the skills we want. You don't live in the US. How do we go about hiring you? Or two, they already have somebody like that and they're used to remote work and it just progresses like that. Again, look at the job description well, make sure they're not specifying oh, you must live in, because they usually say it there. And I also posted another one that specifically says green card, US citizen, and also mentions Canadian citizens. You would see those kind of job postings as well. So those ones, obviously for permanent residents, maybe you can fly. But again, it doesn't hurt to go in and say, I'm not a citizen yet. I'm a permanent resident. I don't have any plans to come and work in the US. I would be remote in Canada. I use Indeed.com, not Indeed.ca. Indeed.com is the US option for Indeed.ca. I make sure that's Indeed.ca. I am in. Also, the same thing, look through the job requirements, make sure it doesn't specify. The first Indeed I sent has voto. If you look down, it does say US citizen, green card, and then, oh, maybe this one was it. Oh yeah, and Canadians only, Canadian citizens only. Down, it says something else. So this one is good to contact them and say, I'm a Canadian citizen, or I'm a Canadian permanent resident. I see this here. What exactly do you want? I'm remote. I don't need sponsorship. I'm currently, But if you go down the list, you see most of them are remote, and, you can have that conversation with them. It doesn't specify you must be in the US or in this state or anything like that. So these are the kind of
yeah. So the secret is filter, right? Knowing the requirement of the job. That's the secret. That's the first secret.
Yeah.
Now,
wait. And another thing, I only answer jobs within, greater than 2 days, 3 days. Good thing, try and within 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours from when it was posted. Other than that, a lot of people are replying. So you want to get in there, and if you are actually actively looking, this is something you do. And I noticed most of when you apply Fridays, on the weekends, do not take a break. Try to look, okay, within 3 hours, within 6 hours, you're getting in, with the early batch. Yeah. Sorry, I
yeah, it's good. It's good. Interesting thing is that most people just apply for jobs, right? Even some jobs that have been posted for more than a month, some people still apply and they say they don't get called. The first thing you need to obviously check is the time it was posted. If it has been posted across multiple channels for more than a month, trust me, the job is gone. Okay, that's number one. Number two, always check for the requirement, remote location. You can work as a Canadian, you cannot work as a Canadian. It's very important, because at the end of the day, you don't want to say you've applied for 100 jobs and you're not getting called. You want to make sure that you're applying for the right jobs before you get called. It's very important, okay? So now, Nkechi, I know that, yes, it's good to work full-time, and I know that there are benefits to not working full-time. So do you want to explain to us how you can work independently as a contractor while maybe in Canada and you're working for a US company? What's the process like for you?
Okay. Sorry, can you ask that question again?
Okay. Let me make it very simple and direct. How can someone work as an independent contractor in the US while living fully in Canada?
Okay.
What are the steps to take?
So I'm just going to do a broad, they're like 4 different employment types I'm going to touch on, right? The first is going to be you employed as a foreign employee by a US company. This is pretty hard to get this one, but it is possible, right? So what happens is that the company that I did this with, for me, initially I was employed and living in the US. Then I left and they kept me on. So that's how I converted. But some companies do take it on and say, okay, but the difference is, unlike a US employee where you use, I think you use W-2 or whatever. For you have to use a W-8 form, right? So you're saying, I'm a foreign employee living outside the US, you're declaring it so that don't come in tax time, because basically what is going to happen is when they employ employee as an employee, they have to pay federal taxes, state taxes, and all the other things that come with it. The W-8 form helps you, either they don't take out that tax, or if they do, during tax time, you can claim it here in Canada. Coming to that, for this, that means you're going to be taxed in 2 places, right? You're going to be taxed in the US and then in Canada. And for that, you have to file taxes in both countries.